Hey there, guys. How you doing?
Hey Marcel, doing all right. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. We'll give it a couple minutes and then we'll get started here. Just give people a chance to tune in. I'm not sure how many people will be here tonight, but for those of us who are here, it'll be a nice little just kind of meet and greet and see everybody. And yeah.
Sounds good.
So what were you up to today, Wayne?
Just doing errands and running around basically today.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, just getting stuff done, I guess, just like everybody
That's
else.
good.
What about
Wonderful.
you? How was your
Uh,
day?
really good. We sent off some more letters for a client in that, and we're just working on the staff portion of the website. So we'll have that done by the end of the week. It's coming along well, and yeah,
Good.
just the
Right on.
usual, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Kirk.
Okay, 2 more minutes and we'll get started there, guys.
All right.
It's going to be fairly informal tonight. It'll basically just be if anyone has any questions or if people want to talk about how their journey is going or just kind of just kind of a there's a word I'm looking for, but it's not coming to my brain right now. Like a team rally, I guess. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just an update kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna start doing this once a month, just so that as more people come on, then people that are, going through the journey can just see that other people are doing it and how it's going for them. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah.
So I guess I got my bank account set up the other day,
I'm
Marcel.
so happy that we broke through that for you. I'm
Thank you.
so sorry that that bank manager was being difficult, and that's something. If you want, we can talk about your journey on that a little bit, Kirk, because usually it goes pretty smooth for people, but you kind of
Well,
had to fight and claw
it
your
was
way through that.
yeah, it wasn't a bank. I think it was because it wasn't a bank manager. It was, just I phoned in, the phone person handed me off to an accounts person, but not a business account. Because I actually on where I could have done better is I could have asked for the small business accounts
Okay,
manager. If I had have asked for that, maybe it would have gone better. I'm not sure, but
okay,
I think that's a good thing to tell people maybe in the future to make sure they ask for that.
for sure.
Now
But
he's
that,
asking, though, he called me today and
yeah,
he asked me if, and I guess it's okay because he has my address anyway, but he asked me if I could, send a copy of one of my utility bills, because it goes along with my ID. So I guess it's okay because like
yeah.
the
I mean,
account, it's not in my name, right? The account's
yeah,
in
like it's not the end of the world doing that. That's the first time I've had anybody ask that. Usually like you would use like a post office, like a UPS where you have the address or something, but it's really not the end of the world. Like, I mean,
he
the
didn't want
most.
to use he didn't want to use my address either for my society. He said, "Can we use the Peacemaker one?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you." He said, "Because that's a box. Like he knows the town, right? So he knows that 1210 Summit is a UPS thing, right?"
Okay, got
So
you.
he said, "Can we use the Peacemaker one?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, that's okay. We can do that."
Yeah,
But
for
I think
sure.
what he must have done is he must have read your address a little more carefully where it said general delivery. And maybe he thought, well, we better get some more. That's why he phoned me. I don't know. I'm just
Okay, fair enough.
surmising.
And the general delivery is just because we're referring to it on the land. But they always like to use the postal codes, which are the routing number in Washington, D.C. So that's
Right.
how come they prefer to use that in the bank system. But yeah. And if you ever need it, it's R2L1L8 is the postal code for the our mailing address there or whatever. So,
Okay. Yeah.
but you got your bank account open, so that's the most important thing. Good job, yay.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious about it though, because it still seems pretty much like a normal account to me. Like,
Yeah, no, it is in one of their normal business accounts, but on the form it says outside the country for taxation purposes. It says
it does?
like, yeah, it actually says that on the form.
On what form?
So
Oh, on our form.
yeah, on the bank form.
Oh, I don't, because I have all the forms. I don't remember reading that,
Okay.
but
Well,
maybe I
they
should.
set it up to be the same type of account that we have for you, right?
I'll, I hope so. I think so. Because
It
I
should
just,
be. It
I
was
did sign all rights reserved,
good. Yeah, yeah.
Lake Traps
But the bank
signing.
account does look like a normal business account, but it's just it says unincorporated association on the form you got, right?
Let me just grab it for a second.
Sure.
Yeah, this is all good information.
Yeah, that's why we'll kind of do these
Yeah.
group meetings once a month and just yeah, no, you bet. In the future, though, I might make it like an hour later because Alberta time at 6 o'clock their time. So some of the people I know who wanted to
Yeah,
attend weren't sure if they'd be back from work yet and stuff. So
yeah, that could be an issue.
yeah,
Yeah, one of my buddies who I golf regularly with, he wants, like, he was interested in setting it up too, and he kept
wonderful.
on asking me, "Have you got that bank account yet?"
Well, once
Like,
you get the bank account, people know it's real, right? That's kind of
yeah,
the when I got
exactly.
my first bank account, that's what made me like, okay, this works. You know, if a bank's going to give it to you, you know that you know it's good. So
But he's working, so he couldn't be there tomorrow either. He works at that time, so that's why
okay,
it'll be good if you're going to start an hour later.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
So business banking, and I don't know if you can read that.
Uh, yeah, you should have another one that says unincorporated association. There should be a form on there somewhere that says unincorporated association form.
Okay, I hope there is. Yeah, and then there's this clause here I wasn't too happy with on disclosing your information and why and who they might want to do that with.
Yeah, there's no real control over that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's just a typical bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe not. So that's just the type of plan that I have.
Okay.
I guess it should be in this main document, eh?
It says it on the like top right. If they gave you a copy of that form, it should say unincorporated association or societies on it.
Oh, it does say on this form, it's got the association box ticked.
Okay, there you go. Good, good.
Because there's sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, joint venture, but
Association.
they only have association check.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's perfect then. That's good. So they did open up the right type of account for you. Yeah,
Perfect.
if you want to show that, yeah.
Awesome. That's what. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if what's the other fellow's name there?
Wayne, and then
Yeah,
yeah, and then the YTNMP5. I'm not sure who that is there, but they might say hi at some point, or maybe they're shy and they just want to observe. And then Melissa's gonna pop on at some point here. We just got her bank accounts open as well, and she has a copy of the form that I'm talking about for the account, but they did check association, so that's good. And your paperwork's correct to process, so you're covered no matter what. Like,
Yeah, that's what I
yeah.
thought.
But it is a normal business account. Like, I mean, it's a special type of business account that a lot of them don't know they have, but it does fall under business in the way they categorize it, even though you're not a business. But
So the fact that it's an association account, that's the whole reason why you can deposit and withdraw funds without having to report it, correct?
yes, exactly. Yeah. And because it's unincorporated, because Canada Revenue Agency only has authority over corporate entities, whether it's your citizen, your body corporate, or a corporation or sole proprietorship or partnership, any of that. But once you go unregistered, unincorporated, then you're outside of their taxable thing. And then the other thing is everything you get, you define as a minimum gift, and gifts between independents are non-taxable by definition as well.
Oh, yeah.
So think like Christmas presents, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you can attach a minimum gift to any service. So, if you're cutting someone's lawn, you could do a minimum gift of $20. If you're selling, a mentorship or membership package, if it were 500, it would just be a minimum gift of 500. So you just
Is
define
there,
everything that you get as a gift.
okay, and is
Yeah.
there a threshold to define minimum?
Whatever you set it at.
Because I know that you used to be able to gift your car to, your daughter, your wife, or whoever, but now you can't do that anymore. The insurance will stop you and everything.
Okay. Well, if you were doing something like that, just sell it for $1.
Well, no, that's what you did. You
Yeah.
you gifted it, but you sold it for $1. Like, you
Yeah.
put that on the form, but they won't let you do that anymore. Because I tried to do it with the car that we had here to my wife, and
Yeah.
he said, yeah, Revenue Canada won't let it. The insurance said they won't let us do that anymore.
So what did you have to do for that then?
So I ended up having to just put it in my name, the
Okay.
insurance.
Okay. That's really weird that they change, because you should be able to sell your own property for whatever amount you want, right? Like if you want to
I know.
sell a Ferrari for $1, that's your right. And that's where that's why again it's nice to be unincorporated, because then you're not bound to their act and statute, right? So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas when you go into the ICBC, you are an incorporated person, so-called citizen coming in.
Yeah.
So you're under that jurisdiction. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how come now, like with your society and having that set up, that's why you sign all rights reserved, your society name law on the signature thing, because in corporate contract, you have the right to reserve rights in a contract. And that's Uniform Commercial Code 1-308 that references that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So just UCC 1-308.
Yeah, I think I've read that before.
Yeah. Melissa, did you want to chime in for a sec there? Or
Yeah, actually, I was just listening to you guys and I pulled up my bank statements and stuff. And the form I was looking at looks like this. Can you read that? Do you
just
have this one?
put it a little closer there, dear. Yeah.
It looks close to this. TD Canada Trust Business Banking and Services Agreement.
Yeah. Do you have this one?
It says resolution of officers, members of unincorporated association.
Oh, no, I don't have that one.
Okay.
Okay.
You could ask for a copy of it. Maybe just jot down what it's called there, Kirk. And then when you talk to them, maybe you can ask them for a copy of that.
Can you say that again, Melissa?
It is the resolution of officers, members of the unincorporated associations form.
Yeah, so resolution of officers.
Officers.
Yeah, for unincorporated association.
And then do you also have the tax residency self-certification form?
No.
Okay, well, this one looks like this, and you could request this one as well.
Okay, what do I call that one?
This one is the tax residency self-certification entity.
Tax residency.
Self-certification entity.
So certification. Did you get yours done in Winnipeg?
Outside of Winnipeg, actually. I'm a small town girl.
Tax residency, self-certification,
Yeah. And if you look at section 2,
application, is that it?
um, it, I don't
So
think this is an application, no.
What comes after certification? There was another word.
Entity,
Oh, entity.
yeah.
Thank you.
And if you look at part 2, it says country of residence, and it says Canada, no, other countries, no jurisdiction for tax purposes.
So it says Canada, no?
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, so I probably really need to have that, don't I?
It's nice to
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
I was so excited when I got it.
So Melissa, maybe walk us through, because Kirk kind of had a bit of adventure. Maybe Melissa, if you tell us how your journey went opening up your account, and then Kirk can share his adventure after that.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Melissa. Sorry if I'm a little Zoom rusty. I'm kind of technology new. But yeah, so I think the society's been open for maybe 2 weeks now. I just sent in my second letter today. But I said, like, getting that bank account, like you said, like it really solidified it for me. I was super excited. I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so many things I could do with this. What programs am I going to start now? And it kind of like, it was a little surreal actually, but like the bank manager, like, had was like just treated me so nice, and it was like such an easy process. I got treated with such respect. Like I like it, it's terrible to hear that some people struggle through the process, but for me it was really good. I enjoyed it.
So a quick question, Melissa. When you first went in, did the first lady trying to help you know what to do, or did she maybe like get?
Oh no. No. She had to get the manager. And yeah, like I think too, just the like when I first called TD, they tried to get me to do it online and on the phone. And like I made sure it was in person and all that kind of stuff because like um I just feel more comfortable with that way, I guess. And I would recommend that to anybody trying to go through this process, just to definitely go in person. And like the manager had to leave a meeting to come assist and look through it, and like it's definitely not a common account at all.
Wonderful.
I was in there for probably 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Longest I've ever been in a bank in my life. Yeah.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Oh sure, of course.
Awesome. What made you choose TD? Was it just your bank you had another account at, or like what?
Well, um, Marcel had let me know that, it's a bank that's never given him any issues in the past. And I was actually a little hesitant because I think I owe TD probably $600-700 in an old account that I don't use anymore. And actually during the bank signing process, they had brought up that amount. And because it was connected to my name. And I assumed that like I would have to pay it before they could open this account. They're like, oh no, this is fine. And they just opened it right up, like no mention of having to pay that money, nothing. Just boom, here's your new account. And I'm like, holy crap. Like
Okay.
yeah.
And then my next question is, did you know like those two documents that Kirk didn't get? Did you know to get those before you went in, or was that
No,
just
this
they
was
did
my
the right thing?
absolute first experience. I had no idea. I got a booklet like this big. But I'm very like I'm a little assertive where I'm like, can I have that document? Can I have that document? Can I have a copy of that? And it's I'm a little involved, I guess.
Good, good. So they actually weren't going to just offer you a copy of those couple of documents that Kirk didn't have, or
I'm really not sure. I asked for
okay, you just made
everything.
sure, okay.
Oh, you knew to ask for those specific
No,
documents?
no, no. I had no idea.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I
she
just I just asked for everything that I was signing, literally.
yeah, well, I signed a bunch of things, but wasn't any of those.
did you go to TD as well, Kirk?
Yeah, because like Marcel said, that, you know, he hadn't had any problem where he has had problems with other banks. So I thought, well, I better go there. And
Yeah,
I had nothing of a
Um,
problem.
right?
I
It's
don't know
funny
if
they're
this will
different.
help. What if I take pictures of these forms and just block out my personal information? So if you show TD, maybe they'll know and they'll be able to like direct you. Would that be helpful at all?
Yeah, that'd be great. If you could scan them, like black it out, scan it to me,
Yeah,
and
no
email it to me.
problem. Yeah, for
Awesome.
sure.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
There must be a
So
form number as well that TD might recognize, eh?
Yeah, or
On those
maybe
forms.
if you could send them to us all, Melissa, that would be good. My name's Kevin, by the
Oh,
way.
nice to
But
meet you. Hi.
yeah, I'll probably go through the same chaos or possibly. So yeah,
Okay.
wouldn't hurt.
Well, I guess Marcel, if you want to take down the names and the emails of the people that want this, I'll make sure to do that sometime tonight.
great.
Okay,
And then,
I'll
yeah,
take it.
Marcel can just send you our email.
Mhm.
Great.
I'll
Yeah,
take copies of those too.
Great. Awesome.
Chances are I'm gonna need them.
Very good. Yeah, because
Yeah.
any little things that we can button up, you know, because I told everybody in our group, I said, like, I'm gonna be the guinea pig for this. So, and I made lots of mistakes on my own. Plus there was mistakes made by, you know, banking people who just didn't know what they were doing. So but if we had all these things sort of buttoned up, and then we tell people to look for, you know, things to watch for, then I think it would smooth out the process quite a bit.
And one thing I'll mention, Melissa is actually helping me. We're in the process of upgrading the Competent Air course. So we're going to be going through each section. I've been doing this for so long that some things that I think are obvious, when Melissa's looking at it, she's like, well, what about this? And what about this? And you need to round out
Yeah.
how you phrase that there. So we're gonna,
Yeah.
it'll take us probably a week and a half to get that completely updated. But know that we are working on making it. It'll be much more complete for you guys with a lot more reference materials. I have 14 years of results, but not all of it is on the website, or it was on an old website that then someone deleted, or it was in YouTube videos, but then they deleted our YouTube channel. So that's where we're just going to make sure that the things that I have are accessible for you guys more as you go forward. And I'm just letting everybody know as well. We have about 15 minutes left in the meeting. It's just a 40-minute meeting. I have to re-update our Zoom, the professional account on it. So we just have the 40 minutes for this evening. So Kirk, if you want to share anything about your journey or any of that, and then we'll open up Q&A.
Yeah, well, I'll just tell you briefly what happened so that everybody can, you know, be aware of it. Like, so I went in for first of all, they tried to set me up on the phone, and they said, you know, we'll have you do a virtual signing. And I actually dropped the ball there, and I was said, okay. But then the guy never called me. Maybe I don't know, for whatever reason. So then I went back and I said, well, then I had talked to Marcel, and he said, well, no, it's better if you can go in and sign them. And so I thought, yeah, I'll do that. So I phoned back and I said, she wanted to set me up with another virtual appointment. I said, well, it's better. I said, due to society law, I really need to be there in person to sign it. And she said, oh, I see. Okay, so come on in this day. So I went in, and then when I started talking about it, and that, she had a real like deer in the headlight look, like she didn't know what I was talking about. And oh well, and you know, and I like, and she really didn't know what I was talking about, because I mentioned the oh, it slips my mind, Marcel, what was it called, the officer, the ISO officer, the
Oh yes, ISO officer. Yeah.
International Standard Operations Officer. And I didn't even know what that meant. I just said, well, your ISO officer, he'll know how to do it. She said, what's that? You know, so I was like, oh yeah, you don't know and I don't know, so this is great. Where are we? You know? So yeah, so then she started talking. Then she emailed me. She said, can I print out your documents? I said, yeah, go ahead, print them out and set up an appointment for me. Then she emailed me saying, we'll need all three founders to come in, and all three of them to sign the documents. And I said, oh no, this isn't right. And Marcel confirmed that no, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Marcel called her and reamed her out and everything, and she hung up on him, I think. But anyway, so then Marcel asked his manager, Sean Ria in Winnipeg, to call the guy here in Kamloops. And so he did that. And then this guy called me up, and he was all up and positive and, yeah, come on in, we'll get it done. It should only be about 20 minutes, which is about what it was too. He met me there and we went right in, we got it all done. But I didn't know about asking for these other documents. You know, I just figured the account would be the account that would have those documents. But so I'm gonna have to email him now, because he wants me to send him a copy of, you know, a utility bill, because he has, you know, my address, and of course I gave him, you know, my license, passport, and all that stuff anyway. So when I email him that, I'll ask him for these other documents. I'll say, oh, there's a couple more documents that I still need to be signed. Can we set up a time to come in and do it? Does that
Wonderful.
sound good?
And just so you guys know, when we were opening up Melissa's account, they were actually reading the different bank codes that the bank enters for this type of account. And I had asked if we could get a copy of those, and the bank manager's like, "Oh no, we can't give those out." Blah 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 blah. So I did try and get the goods for you guys, but I guess due to their security protocols on the banking side of things, they're not allowed to give us those actual codes. So yeah, it's too bad, because it would make things easier for the people doing it in the future. But and that's one thing I'll mention just regarding Kirk's journey with the first rep, and the lady I spoke to was the bank manager or assistant bank manager, something to that effect. Sometimes you will run into people that are just biased against what we do. I had one guy in Winnipeg for TD where I had gone in and helped someone open their account. And at first he was all good, but then after he looked into it more, he totally changed his attitude, and he started saying things that weren't true or correct to the lady that I had helped set up the account. And then his whole attitude just kind of swung and changed. So that's where, unfortunately, you know, I mean, even though it's a bank, they are individuals that you're dealing with, and unfortunately, some will just legitimately be ignorant because this is a special type of account, and then you will sometimes just run into people who are uncooperative because they're biased. So luckily, there's lots of banks and there's lots of branches and lots of different people who work at those branches. So know that if ever you do run into that, we do have contacts in TD that are friendly to our cause and what we're doing and understand it, and who have helped me and helped Melissa and other people that we've assisted in that as well. So if anyone ever does hit a roadblock, it's not too hard to get around it, and we don't accept no for an answer. And if it really, you hit a roadblock, I am happy to get involved if it comes down to it as well. So that's what we're here for. Within that, how are we doing? We got about 10 minutes. Does anyone have any general questions or comments just about their journey? Or
Could
anything?
I ask Kirk? I'd like to
Yeah.
ask Kirk a question. Well, Melissa had said that she sent her first letter in, right? And then she started her process with her banking, right? And this kind of did it kind of coincide together or whatnot. Kirk, did you send your first letter into the government? Have you worked on that side of things yet at all?
All my letters are in. I had them all done before I went and got the bank account.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get the bank account in between the second and third letter, but you know, with all these hiccups along the way,
Yeah.
the time passed, and so the third letter went off, and then this just that, which was the end of last week, I think, and this was the beginning of this week. So yeah,
Good
so
deal.
that's all.
So no reply from the government. They
No.
never sent you anything back. Okay. Good deal.
Yeah, well, I
Nice.
guess it probably would have gone to Peacemaker Society, because that was the address we used for.
Yeah, and we have not gotten any response. In
Right,
in
okay.
14 years, they've never responded. They'd be admitting to their fraud, and whichever agent did respond would be fully liable for the fraud.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it says that right in the documents, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those documents got a lot of teeth.
Oh yeah.
They're
that's
like
why,
straight to
that's
the
why,
point. No, you don't, there's no second guessing when somebody's talking. It's, man, you don't need anybody else to explain, you know, it's like, it's all there. Yeah. That's what I like
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we put in several years to really make sure we had everything in there. The first templates we found were not as good. So we spent years researching, both finding better templates and then improving it and getting experts to come check it out and advise us on what needed to be in there to really make it binding and forceful and yeah, and as far as I know, I talk about privacy and stuff. Really, it's because you do when you're first opening it, show your ID. If it has your address or anything on it, it's really not a big deal. The government does not care if you have an association or a society. The only time that would become a concern is if you start getting to the point, if you're doing work like I've done, where you're starting to bill judges or bill police or directly challenging agents in the system. That's the time when you'd want to make sure your privacy is in place. But for just general getting a bank account, if you're running like a food bank or a program or something, that kind of stuff, you don't have to worry about it. Like,
But once
oh,
your address is there, how do you actually get away from that without moving? You know?
that's valid. See, for me, I guess I've typically moved a couple times a year, just because I was more adventuresome and stuff. And again, I used to be in the marijuana industry, so I would move here and there, just out of habit, basically. But basically, all you would do is update your documents to have whatever your like your UPS address or a different address at that point. But that is a valid point. I mean, but the thing is, if your home address is on your government ID already anyway, then they already have your address anyway, right? But again, that's why we're growing councils and bigger things. Because honestly, when it gets to the point that it's time to hold the system accountable, it shouldn't be individuals doing that anyway. We want
Yeah.
councils doing that. We want 20-year law professionals that are now working for us doing that, or people that have
Right.
a lot of international success already. So really, our goal is to make it that you guys won't be doing that stuff on your own anyway, ideally, right? So and as we update the websites, the staff page being done, and then once we update the websites, it'll all be automated. You guys will still have access to my personal coaching, but when we start having 5,000 people a day coming on board, it'll be an automated process at that point. So our numbers are going to skyrocket starting within about a week or two. Are you okay if I talk about your role, Wayne, a little bit, what you'll be doing out in Edmonton? So Wayne is going, and this will be an opportunity that's open to other people that work with us as well. Wayne's going to be hiring and overseeing the freedom and rights outreach teams that'll be going door to door or in high traffic areas or events to actually gather emails from the public so we can send them freedom information on their rights, birth certificates being slavery bonds, the process that we have to teach for them. And then through that, the people who do the signups, if the email turns into a sale, whoever got the email gets $15. The manager of the city gets an override off of every deal as well. So does the team leader. So it's one of the ways that people can help run a program that we have that will generate income for your own society. Melissa is thinking about starting up do you mind if I talk about it, Melissa?
Oh, yeah, that's sure.
Okay. So she's thinking about starting up a local community food program in the town that she's in. So people go door to door and collect food and or money, and then it's just basically housed at somebody's home. And then kind of like pick up or delivery for pizza within an hour. People can either pick up or have a food hamper delivered to them. They don't need government ID to do it. And it's a program that Peacemaker Society ran successfully for multiple years. And that's where we're going to be bringing a lot more of that kind of stuff. We'll have it on the staff training page. There'll be a heading on private law trusts and starting in a few days. And the positions we're hiring for will be on there. And the training and materials needed to run those programs will be there too. So if that is anything anyone's interested in, just shoot us an email. And when that's done, we can provide you the codes for that.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Right on. Awesome. How are we doing for time here? It's 7:35. I think we have about 5 minutes left here. Does anyone else have any questions or comments or?
So just the brainstorming now, the next step, I guess for me anyway, is the brainstorming on these programs, which you just mentioned, which that's interesting. And then, but maybe if there's other things too, so that I have something to.
For sure. And that's where we have existing programs that are proven that you guys can help run in your local area if you want, or if you have your own ideas, we can help cultivate those with you as well. So and that's where we'll definitely need to set up a time, Kirk, to do a brainstorming session for you. So if you want, did you want to give me a call maybe tomorrow during the day, and we can set up a time, either do it tomorrow or set up the time and day for that as well. And for the other guys on here, basically once you have your bank account set up, then now you can earn a living with this or run programs and accept money. So that's the point, to get a hold of me to help you brainstorm or take care of that stuff with you and for you. And yeah.
So first thing in the morning, is that okay?
Like
for me, like my time, 7 o'clock would be your time, 9 o'clock. Or 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
I usually have a few things going on in the morning. Usually like closer to noon is probably better, just because my morning hecticness is done, unless you have things going on later in the day that would prevent you.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, probably I'll call you maybe around 1:30 or 2.
That would be perfect.
That'll be like 3:30 or something.
That would be ideal. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh,
perfect.
Okay.
Wonderful. Great. Okay, well, if anyone, I'll kind of give a last chance to the floor here. Any questions, comments, or?
I just wanted to say it was nice to meet everyone, and
Yeah.
hopefully see you in another Zoom meeting soon.
And I will schedule it a little later next time, because a lot of the people that are working with us are in Alberta, and a few of them had mentioned to me they were still just getting off work and a few things, so they may or may not have been able to make it. But I'll make sure for the next one that I schedule maybe an hour and a half later, just so that way it's more convenient time for everybody. So. Okay, well, within that, you guys, thank you very much for coming. And I hope this was a little bit helpful. And if nothing else, you got to see some other faces of some other wonderful people exercising their freedom and rights. And Melissa and I will continue to improve things and just basically make it that just I have all the results, but it's just making sure it's organized properly for you guys. And right now, I mean, you can go to the freedom package, you can go to all rates reserved, and I mean, it is there, but we're going to make it that it's a little bit more centralized on one website and just easier for you guys to have and all of that as well. So within that, it's getting hot over here. It's like plus 32 in Winnipeg right now, or in Manitoba. So we'll officially just kind of sign off, and we're going to be doing tomorrow same time. If you guys have anyone that has questions or wants to ask or come on board for kind of like a public forum kind of thing. And then again, the following one we do, I'll make sure that it's later. Just again, sorry because I thought 7 o'clock would be a good time, but I always forget about time zones. So yeah.
Well, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
It was
thank you.
really nice meeting you guys. And
Yeah, great.
I'll make sure to get those emails out this evening.
Yeah, I
Thank
want to say
you,
thanks for
Melissa.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Kurt. Nice to meet you,
Nice
Kev.
to meet you guys.
Yeah,
Wayne.
take care, guys.
All right.